Welcome back to Tarot by the Bay. I'm David. Okay, this is going to come as a shock to all of you, but apparently Marjorie Taylor Greene doesn't give a rat's about what other members of the House of Representatives think of her actions. I know, right? Stunner. So what's old Marge been up to, you ask? Well, she's aiming to make good on her threat of forcing a vote on the ouster of Mike Johnson, probably next week. Yeah, she said next week in this article. She wants every member of Congress to be voting on record and let the chips fall where they may. In other words, she's banking on that the spineless half of the conservatives won't want to upset the MAGA base and Donald Trump type of thing. She doesn't care because she's in a red district where she feels very comfortable doing that. Now, I know some folks have said that there's like a retired brigadier general running against her as a Democrat. And honestly, that's exactly the type of person you need running against her. Somebody who's, he's military brass. He's up in the generalships there, one-star general, who, it's somebody that, if I can't vote for the Republican, at least I could vote for a general in the military. It's kind of a much lesser of the two evils, especially if they are not turned on by Marjorie Taylor Greene at all. Because they can just sort of for 2 years, I think I can suffer under a general's leadership for our district. And if he works out, great. If not, then maybe the Republicans will put up somebody reasonable that I can vote for. On Tuesday, the Democrats said they would protect Johnson. Today, Wednesday, Speaker Jeffries wasn't as fervent with his support, but we'll see what happens with that. A lot of Republicans are not excited about this. Even members of the Freedom Caucus are not excited by this. But Marjorie Taylor Greene doesn't care. She only cares about the American people. And her social media clicks. Oh, and Hunter Biden. I'm guessing Hunter hasn't called her yet, because she's sounding a little unsatisfied, shall we say. All right. For entertainment purposes only, and I hope you've been entertained. I'm entertained. Let's look at the energy around Marjorie Taylor Greene in this current situation. Okay. I'll leave the Hunter Biden jokes until the Ace of Clubs comes up. I'll leave the Hunter Biden jokes parked here. She's assessing, she said she was, she didn't bring up the move to remove the speaker this week because she's trying to be a team player. Oh, yeah, that's you, Marge. Total team player. She's looking at her timing, maybe looking at her poll numbers going down. Maybe her fundraising needs a little bit of a boost. But, she's looking at what she wants to do, and she's oblivious to the mayhem that's happening behind her. Oblivious may not be the right word. Uncaring of the mayhem that's happening around her, because she's off in her own little world, focused on her little values, her little balls that she's juggling here in her infinite wisdom. Yeah, and as she was saying, I want Mike Johnson to represent Republicans, not Democrats, not these lowly Democrats over here. So what is she going to do? She's going to go forward with it. Absolutely. She's not bluffing. She will go forward probably next week, as she said. I don't doubt her for a minute that she's going to do that. And she's going to try and manifest a new House Speaker. Well, two major arcana, so absolutely this is happening. Now, there was, was it Massey? I forget. She did have one House member that was backing her up. And now Louis Gohmert, I think, is now getting behind her. So it's a virtual murderer's row of far-right extremists lining up with her. This ought to be fun. Now, I will take some solace here that we got the budgets through and we got the Ukraine funding through. So the two major funding items that got through, we got them through. So right now, if she wants to engage in theatrics and drama, go for it. Because right now, we got the government funded and we've got the Ukraine war effort funded. In the past is the Knight of Wands. She's a woman of action. She doesn't like where these values are going, and she's got a plan. Marjorie Taylor Greene and plan coming out of my mouth at the same time. Well, she's going forward with her actions. She's not exactly the highest energy spirit out there or soul out there, so think of this club as a cudgel that she's going to go bludgeon somebody with, because that's kind of her speed there. Current situation is the Four of Cups. I think she keeps getting told, this isn't the time, this isn't the place, wait for your moment. We can't afford to have this right now. This is literally, this is the Charlie Brown teacher card. Wah, 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 wah. That's, this is the disinterested teenager listening to the nebulous Charlie Brown teacher going wah, 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 wah. And it's preventing her from doing all the things that she wants to do. And she's tired of waiting. She wants to get her drinking game on. She's all out of quarters. And there's the quarter right there. Bring mama her quarter. The overarching energy is the Queen of Pentacles. She doesn't have she talks about values, but she doesn't have an appreciation of values. She just discards things as worthless. Again, it's back to this energy of she's so focused on herself, she doesn't see the mayhem that she's causing. And it's going to cost Republicans their seats. So this woman's sitting in a seat while Marjorie Taylor Greene's focused on the thing that she wants. Her seat's fine. Her seat's protected for the most part, but other people's seats aren't. There were Republican House members that are in New York that are in districts where they don't have a big majority, and they're like, dude, she's just doing this for social media clicks. She's not serious at all, because they're trying to protect themselves. They know that if she goes through with this, they're not getting reelected. They're getting punished for her lousy life choices. I'm going to bring this down so it stays on the camera here. Overarching, or I should say, the lesson to be learned is the Page of Swords. She's been in Congress for 4 years, 4.5 years, and she still doesn't know what she's doing. And what's really interesting is she really has no interest in learning what she's doing. She's got a pointy stick, and she's going to use it. She's going to swing that sword around, and if people bleed, they bleed. That's not her fault. She's the one with the sword. She's going to swing it. As long as she's not bleeding, she's fine. Outcome is the King of Swords. I don't think this is going to work out so well for her. I don't think she's graduating from the... Maybe she thinks she's going to graduate to the King of Swords from the Page of Swords. You're skipping the Knight of Swords and the Queen of Swords before you get there. So if she's kind of like the Page of Swords, doesn't know what she's doing, somebody who does know what they're doing is her opponent. She's not in good shape here. She is not in the majority with this one. And this just could be Hakeem Jeffries coming over to help out, or the Democrats anyways, coming over to help out Mike Johnson and just say, you know what? Yeah, we don't need this mayhem at this time. I mean, it's possible that Hakeem Jeffries lets the Republicans implode on themselves and just watch the show that's the House of Representatives led by the Putin wing of the Republican Party. Just would be amazing. I mean, can you imagine if the Democrats, instead of voting yes to remove Mike Johnson or no to keep Mike Johnson, if they all just voted present? so that the only votes that matter are the Republican votes. And just watch the mayhem ensue. Get them all on record. Who's a Putin Republican versus a non-Putin Republican? And then the Republicans have decided who their leader is going to be in a majority vote fashion. Oh, that was the other thing. Marjorie Taylor Greene would not commit to if her vote's shelved or if it's taken to the floor and he passes, that she wouldn't just bring another motion to vacate the chair. Yeah, it's amazing. Guys, no, I guess she's not available. I think she does have a boyfriend. I was going to tease. Guys, she's available. Wow. What a woman. All right. How will the Democrats react? Will the Democrats support Mike Johnson, at least in the first round of voting? When Marjorie Taylor Greene votes to vacate the chair, will the Republicans rally to save Mike Johnson? I think that's a yes. I think there will be an agreement. Whether this is making good on previous agreements or agreeing to help him for future considerations, I think that's going to be a yes. And it's funny because Marjorie Taylor Greene, by doing this, she's forcing Mike Johnson to have to compromise with the Democrats. She's forcing him to, because he's going to rely on Democrats to save his job, which means that it makes him more and more indebted to the Democrats. Now, the Democrats wouldn't do this for McCarthy because McCarthy just lied all the time. He wasn't trustworthy. If Johnson is showing himself to be trustworthy, the Democrats will work with him. Now, it's kind of how government's supposed to work, although you have to go back several decades, before you can find when it worked like it was supposed to work. Kind of, sort of, maybe. Yeah, there's going to be agreement here. The Democrats are going to help him out. But there's a lot of anxiety here. Yeah, I think I'm going to stick with that initial part here. Is the Democrats will help him out like this time, but how many times will the Democrats help him out? What's the patience level going to be like for the Democrats on this? I think for Mike Johnson, it's like, he just was trying to do, at least with the Ukraine thing, what was best for the United States. Now, the fact that he held it up for 6 months is a giant FU to the guy, but nice to see he finally got around to it. But the speakership is a headache job. And this is just one more headache that's coming. And he's looking down the road like, okay, what's the next headache going to be from this person? How many votes am I going to have to face over and over again from some woman who just wastes everybody's time? And again, now I'm beholden to the Democrats again. The next action I take has to get Democratic support. And it's going to water down whatever agenda he would normally want to get done. In the past, this has everything to do with the budgets, but more than the budgets, has everything to do with the funding that went out, especially the $60 million that went out to the blue and the yellow Ukraine. What a great card, huh? Six coins for the $60 million in the Ukrainian colors. Putin did not want that. Putin apparently lost his effing mind when that legislation got passed and got sent to the Senate. Somebody somewhere effed up, and Putin's not happy because this screws Russia in Ukraine. This absolutely screws them. Ukraine's going to finally get ammunition that they need. This Russian advance, they're pushing their advance as hard as they can, but the minute Ukraine is being rearmed, this advance is over. There's not going to be a spring advance, and there's not going to be a summer campaign on Russia's end. At best, Russia can hold ground. That's going to be the best Russia's going to be able to do. Ukraine has defenses dug in, and then they're going to be armed and loaded. Locked and loaded. We're talking about Mike Johnson. Are the Democrats going to come in and save him? Yeah, it sure looks like it. The current situation is the Queen of Wands. You can think of it as the Democrats are kind of looking to the future. Now may not be the right time to have Johnson removed. There's other things going on. If nothing else, from a pure political point of view, if Johnson gets removed, then there's going to be a lot of media coverage on Mike Johnson, and there's going to be less media coverage on the antics of Donald Trump. So it's one of those things where I was watching I will get through this tarot reading eventually. I was watching something on CNN about a professor who's predicted 9 out of the last 10 elections, and he had his list of things here. And turmoil, domestic turmoil was one of his little checkpoints. So like with the protests that are going on the college campuses, that can work against Biden because there's civil unrest. And so do you need chaos in the House of Representatives as well? And probably right now is not the time to have that, because that could work against the Democrats and Biden. Let's let folks focus on Trump's actions right now rather than on Mike Johnson. The overarching energy is the Two of Wands. There's other things the Democrats are keeping their eye on the ball on. Getting rid of Mike Johnson is not one of them. And in some ways, if Mike Johnson makes agreements to you, you're sitting in control. You've got control over the situation. You have some control over the agenda items. And maybe some of the things that you agree to are he's going to bring certain agenda items to the floor. The lesson to be learned is the Page of Swords. Courtesy of Marjorie Taylor Greene, the Democrats are sitting on the catbird seat. And Johnson's forced to make agreements. But, Marjorie Taylor Greene's going to go out there, and what would a Marjorie Taylor Greene reading be without All Together Now? The Five of Wands, the Drunken Hillbilly Brawl card. I think the Democrats will back him up, but the mayhem is still coming. Oh, Marjorie Taylor Greene's going to make a giant mess out of this. And I'm here for it. It'll give me some things to read on for a couple of days anyways, right? Is she really going to get him out? Are the Democrats going to keep saving him? What's going to happen to her? Jeez. This woman. Right now, because things seem to have steadied out, and we suffered the body blows of the Supreme Court in their decision, and Harvey Weinstein in that decision. Otherwise, we've been getting some pretty good news day after day after day. And when you're getting good news and things are working out your way, you look at Marjorie Taylor Greene, who would normally annoy the living bejesus out of you, and you can just laugh at her because she's such a buffoon. And the reason why you can laugh is it's like the threat level of her goes down. She's not a threat. She's ridiculous. And is she going to cause some problems? Yeah. When it involved Ukraine funding and the budgets, yeah, she's causing problems. Now that there's nothing like that immediate or urgent on the horizon, she's just an idiot. And you can just sort of shake your head like, God, woman's an idiot. Because there's nothing of urgency or value that you stress out over with her. So let her go on to her performative arts and just shake your head and be entertained. Because, the only people suffering are Marjorie Taylor Greene's constituents and the Republicans. The Democrats are not suffering for this. Okay. Will Mike Johnson ultimately, through this wave of removals, will he ultimately hold his seat? You got the Drunken Hillbilly Brawl card. There could be a lot of mayhem coming here. Temperance. Yeah, I think he is. That seems like a yes. There's going to be, it's going to be funny. He's going to have to give concessions to Marjorie Taylor Greene to get her to stop, but he has really no way of backing those up because he needs the Democrats to help him. Oh, he's so screwed. He screwed 6 ways to Sunday. And there's the Democrats just waiting there. It's like, yeah, come on. Come on. We'll calm everything down. We'll get you through it. You know, we'll buy you a hamburger today for payment on Tuesday. And don't forget, Tuesday's not so far away. King of Wands. I'm going to have like this. I think this might be... I forget if I have a Mike Johnson card or not. This, to me, is more a Hakeem Jeffries type of card. You know, man of action. You know, we saved you today, and you know, we're looking towards the future. There's some things we might ask you to do as a favor. Yep. In the past, the 7 of Coins. Now, evaluation of money, evaluation of values. I think this is just him getting through budgetary stuff. Will he survive it? Yeah, Queen of Wands. And there's the Democrats looking to the future. They don't want distractions from the things that they find valuable, actually, which is, again, the Donald Trump court cases and other court cases going on. You're not going to distract from that. We got the Ukraine funding in there. We got the Taiwan funding in there. We've got the budgets passed. You know, we got through the money stuff. Now here come the Democrats, just sort of sitting there watching, waiting. The overarching energy is the 5 of Swords. You know, win at all costs. They get through it. There's going to be challenges. They'll get through it. I don't know how many challenges. Lesson to be learned is the 8 of Cups, the walking away. Oh, God. Can you imagine Johnson resigning the position? There might be a point where Johnson resigns. Just says, I don't want to do this anymore. You know, instead of you voting me out, how about I just leave? That could happen. Or maybe this happens in the future. It's clear to Mike Johnson he's not going to be able to hold this job for long. Because if he has to rely on the Democrats to save him, he can't hold it for long. It just really depends on how the Republicans go. And there's that King of Swords again. Wow. This may not be Johnson. This might... Oh! I wonder if this is Republicans leaving. Some Republicans have threatened... Okay, let's go back to this one here. Some Republicans... You know, that 2 of Wands that we keep coming out, we're 2 Democrats... Because of the death of a Democrat, we are 2 Democrats away from taking over the House. And some Republicans have talked about, you know, they're willing to leave early. And if they leave early, then Johnson's going to vacate because the Democrats will be in charge. And then the Democrats can decide if they want to remove the House Speaker because now they have the votes to put Hakeem Jeffries in. So I think that for now, Johnson will be put back in. But if things get ridiculous, then some more Republicans might decide to leave. And then the Democrats will have the majority in the House and can bring a new speaker in the House. And I guess Marjorie Taylor Greene gets what she wants. Yeah, then at least the Republicans can all be the party of resistance and the party of obstruction, which is what they're best at. They're not good at doing anything other than destroying things and obstructing things. And when they're asked to actually build things, they can't handle it. Marjorie Taylor Greene. Thank you for watching this video and supporting my channel. I appreciate it. Thank you for your likes, shares, comments. I don't care. I don't give a rat's patootie. Thank you for everything you do for the YouTube algorithm so my video makes it out to a wider audience. To folks discovering this channel recently or for the first time, welcome to the channel. I hope you found this reading insightful, and I'll catch you on the next one. Take care.